Hello, everybody. This is Kenny Cummins here of TMVCafe.com, bringing you entertainment to your ears. And I like to call this the Lexington Music Awards edition. I'm looking forward to this year's show, Sunday, March the 8th, Singletary Center in Lexington, Kentucky. Tickets are already on sale, so pick those up and enjoy a night of celebration of Central Kentucky's brightest talent that we have to offer. And joining me is a nominee of this year's award show. I think you can call this award show should be named after her at this point, given her track record, singer, songwriter, musician, teacher, educator. She does it all. And she's been a long time good friend of mine, and I'm happy to have on the show Miss Vanessa Davis. She's with me right now.
Thank
How's it going?
you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to just hang out. I think your show is titled correctly. We're just chilling. We're just two friends talking and hanging out, and I love that. I always look forward to your show because I know I don't have anything to stress about. We're just gonna chat and have a good
Yeah.
time.
Yes, absolutely. So we'll get to the award things a little bit later, but you have some new music that you've been working on, and you released
Yeah.
your new single, All the Pretty Little Horses. And
Correct. Yeah.
by the way, I did play that song this past Monday. Um, it's vintage Vanessa, I must say. And it's more of a you described it to me on the Facebook Messenger's lullaby. Uh, so talk a little bit about the whole process of recording
Yeah.
this song.
Yeah, so All the Pretty Little Horses is actually song number two in a series of lullabies that I'm recording. And it's actually the only one I'm going to have a full, I say full, an EP when all is said and done. I've written five lullabies, and this is the only one that I haven't written. It's actually an American folk song. It's pretty old, and there's some lovely versions out there with all kinds of different instrumentation. And this one actually happened quite by accident because the whole concept for the EP was original lullabies that I've written for my son. For those who don't know me, I have a son who's now 2 years old, and since he was a newborn, I've kind of started writing lullabies for him. And so I say there's five of them. It's not like I write one a week and have been doing that for 2 years, but I've got five really good solid ones. But those aren't the only lullabies that I sing for him. I sing for him all the time, and he sings for me all the time. But All the Pretty Little Horses is one that I was just singing for him one night, and all of these harmony parts started coming into my mind. And when things like that happen, it's like I have to run to my phone and grab the little recording, the voice memo app. So I started like mapping it out for myself, the harmonies that I was hearing and how I wanted to layer them. And so then the next step was the next day to haul out all of my recording equipment that I wouldn't say I have like a home studio. I don't have a recording studio, but I have enough of a setup that I can do a demo so that I can take that into the studio and give that to my producer and be like, this is the song, or this is what I have in mind. And so the next day I dug out all my recording stuff and just laid all of the harmonies and figured them out and figured out what I wanted to do with this track. And so when I I had some studio time booked, and he was like, "Oh, what are we gonna work on the next lullaby that you've written? What are we gonna do today?" I was like, "Actually, I have like a one and done. We can do this today and get it all cleaned and polished and go ahead and get it out on Spotify and all of the other different listening outlets, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon Music, Pandora, Deezer. I don't know what that is, but apparently I'm on Deezer and some other ones. But anyway, so it was just like a we just recorded it that like 2 days after I had come up with all the harmonies. We went into the studio and just recorded all of the harmonies, everything, all of the vocal tracks that day, and then he edited them and got them back to me. And it was actually a pretty tight turnaround. But I didn't release it right away because I actually what was in the process of releasing my first lullaby, which is Sing for Me, which has instrumentation and it's an original. And so that one took, a lot of time. And this one was just in the final stages and we were just getting ready to release it. And then all of a sudden it came up with all the pretty little horses. So I delayed the release. So it was ready for a good 2 months before I actually released it because I didn't want to overshadow Sing for Me because I really love that lullaby as well. So all that to say, there are two that are now released and the other four are going to wait to be released with the full EP, and then the singles will it's kind of a weird thing, but when you release a single, it gets like an ID number. And so you can track it with the same ID number and re release it with the EP. So those songs will be re released with the full EP. But I do have two out already so that people can start, hearing a little bit of what I've been up to and know what to expect from the full EP when it comes out.
Gotcha. So Sing for Me and now All the Pretty Little Horses, part of a lullaby series, which will end up being a full EP release. Um, so I've been enjoying your music since I met you. I mean, long before you started putting out music on the platforms.
Yeah,
And
yeah, oh yeah.
yeah, so we know each other for a pretty long time.
Yeah,
And lullabies, I like that you're going this approach actually. Um, it's a different feel, but it's still like you still songwriting is still got those elements there. It's just a different approach. It's a different feel, you know. I
yeah,
feel like this is for the parents with kids
yeah.
and just need
Yes,
something
this
to
is,
to keep things going.
yeah, it's really a labor of love. Firstly, for my son, I want him to, grow up hearing these and be like, my mom wrote those for me. But also for the moms out there, like it's kind of a club. Like if you know, kind of,
Hmm.
which I didn't until I had a kid, and now I'm like, it's really for myself, for my kid, and for the moms out there, but it's for anyone. And that's the thing about it is All the Pretty Little Horses is it's an American folk song. Like it's been around for a really long time and it's used as a lullaby and it says hushaby in it and all that and but it's used in other facets and Sing for Me doesn't talk about being a lullaby, but I consider it to be a lullaby. But it really talks about it references my heritage coming from the Canadian prairies, and then it references my son's heritage, which is Appalachia, and being born and raised in Kentucky. And so it's kind of a celebration of generational music and the heritage that you pass down to your kids through the songs that you sing for them. So that's the whole point of that one.
Oh yeah, for sure. Shout out to the moms. Shout out
Yeah,
to and
yes,
a lot of
for real.
responsibilities comes with being a mom, and it's a good time. There's a lot of responsibilities, but I know it's something that holds near dear to your heart. You definitely put a lot of heart and effort into this record, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm gonna be sending your music to all of my friends that are moms or on the verge of being moms, and say, hey, you might need this for your
I
kids.
appreciate that. Yes. Moms, put me on your lullaby playlist, please. Vanessa
Yes.
Davis on all your listening platforms. Playlist me, add me to those lullaby playlists.
So, in addition to doing this music, this particular records for your kids, were there any other influences behind you working on the lullabies, whether it's maybe mainstream or something else in particular
Yeah,
that led to you saying, "Hey,
there's
we'll work on this"?
yeah, I mean, there's several influences that you're going to hear throughout the different lullabies. And I mean, I can't really point to a specific artist. I mean, I know that Jewel did a set of lullabies way back when, and I really loved them. Actually, I really love her lullaby album. So those are beautiful, and that's probably the first time that I was like, oh, a pop artist that put out a lullaby album. So, in concept, for sure, influenced by Jewel. But you'll hear in circumstantial influences on the album. So, like I already talked a little bit about Sing for Me and it being influenced from my upbringing on the Canadian prairies and also having lived in Kentucky for 20 years. And you hear those things in the musicality, like you hear little nuances in the strings. So, Sing for Me has a violin and cello on it, and the violin is played by the lovely Lucy Becker. Incredible singer songwriter and stringist violinist, I guess. She's just brilliant. I mean, she just brings out the beauty and just the nuance that I was looking for in this in the violin part. And then it has Seth Murphy on cello. And but all that to say, like, there's the strings echo what the voice is talking about. So like there's a part where I talk about the hoof beats and the races and the strings go like ba da dum, which is the galloping of the horse. This might not have been what you meant by your question of influences, but this is where I'm going with it. And then there's actually a song that is going to be released that's in German. My grandmother was German, and I grew up singing classical music, so I learned how to sing in different languages. And there's a very famous lullaby, Brahms's lullaby. It's the lullaby and good night, da 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 da, which is originally in German. And so what I did was I actually took the lyrics from his lullaby and I changed the order a little bit because I wanted to make it a triple rhyming scheme instead of a double rhyming scheme. But I took all of his lyrics and wrote a new melody to it. And when you do that, that's called an art song. That's an art form that you learn in classical music, where someone has borrowed a poem from a different source and then written the music to the poetry. And so I wanted to give that a crack, and because it's lullabies, it's a little more classically influenced. And so yeah, one of them is going to be in German with lyrics by Brahms. We've collaborated together now, me and the famous Brahms from several hundred years ago.
Very historic. Very, very
Yeah.
historic. Uh,
It's interesting anyway. It's different.
yeah, absolutely. Lullabies it's definitely synonymous with music for since the beginning of time, it seems like, and it's all over the world. It's out there. Whether it's mainstream, whether it's those that's working it independently. So it's very compelling. Um,
Yeah, and
and
all genres too. Like there's beautiful bluegrass lullabies, there's beautiful pop lullabies, there's beautiful classical lullabies. So I love that it crosses genres so well.
yes, it does. It definitely crosses the genres so well. So I'm joined with Vanessa Davis here. Check out her singles, "Sing for Me" and "All the Pretty Little Horses." Both songs are available on all streaming platforms right now, and she'll be releasing a lullaby EP at some point this year. So be on the lookout
That
for
is
that.
correct at some point
At some point
when
to,
it's done.
TBA to be announced.
Exactly, yeah.
So obviously, and congrats on the nomination of
Thank
the
you.
awards, Jay Flippin Music Educator Award. Um, you being an educator, you being a teacher, you teach kids music, obviously, and just you've won you've won multiple. awards over the course of your career. And but what was it's something different with that particular award because it's focusing on your work as a teacher, as an educator with kids. So obviously, like,
Yeah.
how does it feel?
Yeah, what's unique about the Music Educator Award is that it acknowledges the work that educators put into the next generation. So music is so important that it's passed down, you know? So all of my other awards are a sense of what I like myself have accomplished, but the Music Educator Award is really a nod to my students and what they have accomplished and the fact that I get to partner with them in helping them like literally and figuratively find their voice, you know, as singers and as artists. So it's just really cool in that way. It's kind of in a separate category in my mind from all of the other awards because they're all, you know, performance or recorded based, you know, for album of the year or for singer songwriter or the different genres. But this one is definitely to me like a standalone category, and it means a lot to me because it acknowledges that while also being the mom of a toddler and also, you know, writing and recording and performing, like I run a studio out of my house where I have kids coming in weekly that are learning and training, and that's actually where the bulk of my time in the music community is spent is with these kiddos. So yeah, so I definitely appreciate the nod and the nomination in that category. It's very special.
Absolutely. Congratulations again. So
Thank
I've
you.
been around the music scene for a very long time. I say 2015. And
Mm.
I've met you a few years after that. I remember the first time Ryan Sinclair hosted one of those things.
Songwriters round at
Songwriters Round.
Burger Fi. I
Yeah,
remember.
so
Yep.
so that was my first time meeting you. You are such a loving individual, and
Thank
it
you.
and it
Mm.
resonates with your music. I love the kind lifting. You got some sarcasm in your music as
Yes.
well,
A little bit,
and
yeah.
you show the versatility. So
Mm.
it's we're going back to the lullaby side of things. We talked about songwriting, recording. I want to talk about the performing aspect. It's one thing to perform a regular song, original song, cover, or original song. It's a lullaby. What's that like getting to perform
Oh
these
gosh.
lullabies in front of a crowd?
You know, it really just depends on the venue. I mean, the one situation that comes to mind was I was performing for an artist showcase that was put together by Sophia. Is her last name like Navar? I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it. She's a belly dancer in town here, but she used to do, she was on the air too. She had a radio show, which was how I first met her. And she's invited me to come and sing for their showcases several times. And what I love about those showcases and her audience is that it's in like a theater. And so there's theater seating and you have what I call a captive audience. And lullabies are perfect for that kind of crowd. And so I did a couple of lullabies for them, but then I did some, you know, upbeat and spunky ones too. But lullabies are certainly not one that I'm gonna go in and into a noisy bar where the game is being played at the same time and your
Yeah.
kind of background music and be like, "Hey guys, stop everything and listen to my lullaby." Like that's just not the right crowd. And a lot of what singer-songwriters and performers do is being able to adapt to the venue and to the crowd and to know when to bring songs like that out. And so those songs are going to be featured at songwriters rounds, at songwriters showcases, and in theater settings. And sometimes open mics if the mood is right. It depends on the open mic and it just depends on the crowd. But certainly it's a different experience than playing something that's rowdy or something that's funny or sarcastic, and it's going to take a different crowd, and you have to kind of know your crowd and know, is this a lullaby crowd or not,
Yeah,
before you get into that. So yeah.
that's that's understandable. Um, as far as the crowd aspect, you got know when and where, and yeah, especially you lived in Kentucky long enough to know, especially at this time of the year with the basketballs and stuff like that. And but hey, but it does show that you show versatility. So you're showing that you can do a multitude of songs, multitude of ways, and you definitely know when and where to perform said songs. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this Lullaby EP. I'm always going to be intrigued to hear your music, and I'm excited about this record. And
Thank you.
I'm very, very excited for what you have in store with this EP. And I feel like I know you're a Taylor Swift fan. This is you in your lullaby era now. That's
Yes.
cool.
Yeah. What's super funny? Were you at my 40th birthday concert where I did the Eras Tour theme?
I don't think I was, no.
Oh, I thought you were. It was actually where I announced the pregnancy,
Oh yes, I
and did it
was
through
there.
song. But yes,
Yes.
okay, I thought that you
Yeah.
were. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it was like I had all of my different eras, but I didn't have the lullaby era yet. So now we have the lullaby era, and it's certainly different from everything else that I've done. Like for anyone who doesn't know me that might be tuning in, is like, oh, is this like all that this person does? Like, no, I had literally never written a lullaby before this, but I do have kind of like, I mean, I've got some ballads, of course, some slow songs, and I've got more rock ones. I've got some jazz and some blues influence, and then a lot of pop songs, and a lot of like sarcasm and
Yeah.
humorous songs too. So I kind of like run the gambit. And artists, we like to do that. We don't really like to stay in the same box for too long. We want to try something new. So this has been a really fun try something new era, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, so there was the Pretty Little Cabin era, which that
Mm-hmm.
EP came out 2021.
Wow.
There was the
Good. Good
triplets.
remembering.
There's the triplets came out in 2023. And
Yeah.
yes, I was there for that release. I do remember that because I was at a meet and greet somewhere, and then I drove like 2.5 hours
Oh, wow.
just to get to that event on time, and that was also the same show that you announced. So it was right.
Right. I forgot that was when I released the triplets too, was
Yeah.
in that concert. And when I was marketing it, it says with special guests and surprises. I'm looking at
Yeah.
the poster on my wall right now. It says with special guests and surprises. And so I let everyone think that the big surprise was that I was dropping the EP.
Hmm.
And then at the end, my husband got up on the stage with me, which he does not get up on the stage. So people should have known something was up. And he played Cajon and I sung. And within the song that I had written for this occasion, in the second verse, revealed the pregnancy. It was very fun. If you're curious about that, dear listeners, you can find that on my YouTube channel. It's still there. The whole Eras concert is actually in a playlist, and the pregnancy announcement is in there as well. It was a really good time. That was a fun surprise.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I will say, as someone that's been to a variety of music shows in the city for a decade, that show ranks very high on my list. just given that it was a special, it was a release that day, and then the pregnancy, it was like I was I was in awe, like, ooh,
Thank
yeah.
you. That show was a lot of work. I haven't done a show that big since. I really did go all out and it was a lot of preparation and a lot of work, but it was so much fun. So
Yeah.
thank you. That means a lot to me because I know you have been to a lot of shows.
Yeah, that ranks very high. I know it was a very special day, and I'm glad I was. I still have a clip of that on my Instagram. I have to
Oh, I
look at
love that. I'll have
2020.
to check that out.
Yeah, so
That's
ladies
very
and
cool.
gentlemen, Miss Vanessa Davis, that check her out. Sing for Me, all the Pretty Little Horses, all available on all the streaming platforms. The Lullaby EP is coming out at a date to be announced. And so yeah, thank you so much, Vanessa, for the chat. It's always fun having a chat with you, and congrats on everything. Um,
Thank you so
you
much.
you are one of the good people in this scene, and I'm happy to say that I support you as a musician, and just the friendship we had is
Yeah.
it's been an honor. I'm honored just to say that I know you.
And I feel the same way, Kenny, because you are just such a supportive person and you are just one of those people that a songwriter or performer can count on to come to shows and to show up and to post about it and to take pictures and video and just invest. The way that you invest in the local music community is very needed, honestly. It's very needed and it's very appreciated. It does not go without notice, that's for sure. So, thank you for all of your support of me and just of the entire local music scene over the years on behalf of all of us. We all just really appreciate it. I know that everyone would say the same, that just appreciate all of your support.
Appreciate you, Vanessa. Thank you so much for being here,
Thanks for having me,
and
Kenny.
I hope to see you down the road, maybe at the awards.
You know, I'm sure we will track each other down and get a picture. We
Yeah,
usually do.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. You have a good night, Vanessa. Thanks
You
again.
too.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye bye.
Bye.